Devin Allen, just a really dynamic guy, will help track down USA as well as hopefully Football Town USA sometime. World-class hurdler, especially high hurdler guy. Robert Johnson, very excited about him as well. He came in, had a little celebration this morning from a great program. His coach, a bunch of us have known for a long time, Scooter Molander at Brophy Prep is one of the best coaches in Arizona history. And just, again, a great kid from a great family, dynamic, versatile athlete. Kenai Benoit, another Arizona kid, the first two guys in alphabetical order. He was just under 8 yards a carry. I think he was like 7.8, 7.9 yards per carry. A guy that we had always kind of kept our eye on throughout this whole recruiting process, and just again a solid kid, really humble guy, but a competitive, hungry, humble type guy. Elusive, not he doesn't have the 100-yard dash time as a couple of these other guys, but was very productive. Elusive tackler, a heavy runner, runs through a lot of arm tackles. Excited about him as well. Doug Brenner, obviously Liz. We'll try to recruit her, so she'll play her. What would that be? Her 7th and 8th sports at the University of Oregon. Obviously from a great program, Ken Potter up at Jesuit. Again, obviously we know his family a little bit more than some of these other ones, but just a solid kid. Just a guy that you'd want to hang out with, and just a great guy. Played tight end, played some defensive line, played a little bit here and there. We anticipate him probably being a center or guard. Very vocal guy. Seems like he'd be a charismatic leader type guy at center. So excited about him as well. Excited about everybody. I won't say that about every guy. Darren Carrington, his dad played for predominantly the Chargers for about 8 years in the NFL. So from a pedigree, very good sister basketball player who's better than him. I was on orders to say. But again, a dynamic guy, very kind of under-recruited and then just hammered here for some reason. But he committed to us last summer after camp, and just again, a guy that his best football is ahead of him. Very young-bodied guy, natural hands. Had a great all-star game, a great all-star camp, according to all those guys. He was in the Semper Fi game down in L.A. But just very excited to see him grow up. He's gonna fill out a lot more. He's a good-looking kid right now, but he's going to be just get bigger, faster, stronger with Coach Radcliffe. Elijah George, kind of in the mold of a Jake Fisher-esque or a Tyler Johnstone type body type, taller, lean kid, really athletic. Played in an offense at Arborview where he was a double tight, double wing tackle, and so we really like his upside, doing a lot of things just because of his athleticism and his ability to run. And he's a physical kid. Dad was a great basketball player, and his best football. Again, this is a guy who's probably 6'5", 255, runs a sub 5 flat 40, and so can really roll. Damian Hobbs led his team they lost in the state championship game in Texas, the 5A division, which is, some of the best football in the country. Had just under 3,000 yards. I'd be lying if I told you exactly what that was. I think he had 28 or 29 touchdowns this year. Coach McGuire there at Cedar Hill has done an excellent job. Great program in Texas. And he was a guy that was committed somewhere else due to a previous relationship with that coach, and then kind of restarted his recruiting, and was a guy that we had always kind of been in contact with, and can really throw it, can really run it, and it is, again, a great student, great leader. That was the thing. The biggest thing that they really hit on is out of the athletic realm is just how great of a leader this guy was. That kind of, they started off, they had a bunch of injuries at Cedar Hill, and he kind of flipped the season and ended up playing the state championship game. Cameron Hunt, great. Just a fantastic offensive lineman. Matt Logan at Corona Centennial, one of the best coaches in California, tremendous program, a guy that we've had a great relationship for a long time. Very excited for this guy too. He's just a road grader, fast, physical, very, very polished player. That's still going to get, even better and better as he just grows up and grows into his frame. I think they ran for over 4,000 yards as a team last year, had 8,000 yards of total offense. So we're going to watch their film too. But he is just a fantastic kid. His parents are awesome. But just again, a great kid from a great family. Danny Mattingly from Mead up in Spokane, another versatile kind of a big outside backer, tight end, linebacker body type. He's about 6'5", 225-ish maybe right now. He's been playing basketball and just broken record, a great kid from a great family. This guy's a great student. When we went on our little world tour, it was just amazing how many times, and I'll say it again, we walked out of his house. They have this huge acreage out, outside of Spokane, and there's snow on the ground. It's about 8 degrees, and we walked out of there trying to not fall on the ice and just looked at each other going, how about this guy? I mean, just off the charts. His dad built the house, literally from like wood on their land. It was like just incredible people, and very excited for him to be a part of our program. And that leads us into Johnny Munt, who's, again, the same kind of deal. His family's in the nut business. I learned a ton about the nut business, which is fascinating. I could tell you guys all we were walnuts and your almonds. Do you know it's almonds? It's not almonds. It's almonds. Fentress, did you know that?
I did not.
See?
Thank you.
And the import-export business it's fascinating. But this kid, just again, very versatile body type. He's probably 6'4" and change, 230-ish, and just a stud. Fast, physical, great hands. Very excited about getting him with Oz and the boys, and just really exciting to see what he develops into after a couple years with Coach Radcliffe. Jake Pisarcik, you'll recognize that name. His dad was obviously Joe Pisarcik, former NFL quarterback. And from New Jersey, just outside of Philly, Shawnee High School. His coach, Tim Gucci, was a guy that had been come out to our coaches clinic for a couple years, and again, just kind of fell in love with the culture and talked to Jake a little bit about that, and we got involved with him a little bit later. He was a guy that put on a ton of weight and grew a ton from his junior year to his senior year, and his film was fabulous. Early when we watched him, it was kind of one of those deals. He didn't have a lot of offers, and we loved him. We did our normal kind of a due diligence, offered him a scholarship, and he committed. And then the other wolves came in and got after him a little bit. But he is a kid that stayed strong through it all, and probably will end up being a guard for us here as we start out. Tarani Prevost. Again, just a great kid, tremendous smile, and then can really run and hit the quarterback. Dynamic guy, played D-end, outside backer. We see him kind of in the role of Deion Jordan, a guy that is, again, a young-bodied, athletic, dynamic, fast, physical, great tackler, great finisher, caused a lot of forced fumbles. Just a lot of havoc, again, from one of the premier high schools in the Houston area. And then collectively, the Robinson twins are both listed at 6'4" and 1 pound difference, so we don't make anybody mad, but one is a little bit taller than the other. Tyree, just a very dynamic kind of athlete. He could play a ton of places, and we're going to let these guys. Our philosophy in that is if they are a multi-position guy, Tyree is one, Tyrell is one, Juwan Williams we'll get to, but it's kind of let them pick first. And, usually what the guys pick or they think is their best idea is what they're going to have the most success at initially. And then if that ends up being something different down the road, then we'll talk about that and make them think it's their idea. But Tyree is a guy that, just flourished whatever he did. Basketball, receiver, corner, returner, tailback. And again, just a great kid. Smile. Their mom is just light. Just a shining light, and her energy and just she's always quacking. She's always talking about quacking. So, and she's been talking about that for a long time. So that's good. And then Tyrell is just kind of a little bit bigger version of the same. Second level, maybe third level athlete in terms of from the line of scrimmage. played basketball, played on offense. They're just two dynamic guys, and we'll figure out and sort it out where they end up playing. Chris Cisse was another kid, kind of a long striding, skinnier guy that has a huge upside. Coach Rad and I had watched some film together a long time ago and watched this guy, and he really liked just his development capability as an athlete. From a very good team as well. Ian McMillan, right, is his head coach at American Canyon. Just couldn't talk about how tough this guy was. And a lot of guys, that play that position aren't necessarily characterized as tough right off the bat, especially just his basic frame. But did a great job in the return game, playing some corner, played some tailback, played some quarterback, was all over the map. Thomas Tyner, obviously well publicized. I mean, the guy's off the charts. World-class speed will obviously help our track team as well. Hopefully he and Devin will be able to help both programs out for a long, long time. Had that one game where he rushed for whatever it was, 1,300 yards and 12 touchdowns, and just the total package is a tailback, a physical guy, a fast guy, really good hands. Just excited to get him involved, and he's a kid that again you can just have a normal conversation with and talk about the future, and he just wants to compete. Evan Voller from up at West Lynn, played for Coach Fanger. Again, a guy that got a ton better as his career went. He was kind of one of those guys that got a little bit bigger, maybe he wanted to throughout his high school career, and just grew into his body and kind of started playing urgently and physically, and just a guy that I know Coach Greatwood is excited to get in, and will be a guard initially, and then get in the weight room and just get bigger, faster, stronger. Joe Walker is a kid that's already here, a linebacker from LA Harbor. We had a workout this morning, and a lot of those guys that come in from a junior college are not in great shape. But it's kind of a tribute to him and his program that he came in fantastic shape and did a great job of being vocal, finishing drills, doing that kind of thing, which is not always the case for newcomer guys in their first deal. But I think he knows that he has a chance to play. Obviously, losing Kiko and Michael and Dion, there's some slots to be filled. And then Jawan Williams, what am I going to say? But great kid, unbelievable family. This kid, we're sitting there and with talking with the whole family. He starts talking for about a half hour about all the reasons why he should come to Oregon. And I mean, it was unbelievable. It was I'm just like, yep, uh-huh. And then his mom starts crying. I'm like, okay, this is either going to go really well or really poorly. And, at the end of this kind of soliloquy, he finishes with, and I'm going to commit to Oregon. And so, Mom, I think, was simultaneously proud and then, maybe a little bit sad that her little boy was going across the country. But just an off-the-charts kid. Again, kind of in the mold of a Josh Huff guy, but a little bit taller. Played quarterback, played wideout, played tailback, played DB. And again, just an off-the-charts guy. And then last but not least, Matt Wogan was in our camp last summer and impressed us not only as a kicker, but again as a kid. Another great home. Both his parents are really excited to have him come out here. And Matt, the thing that always stands out to me about Matt is he was the captain of his football team. And there's not too many kickers that are the captains of their football team. And so I think that says a lot, not only about his athletic ability, but him just as a guy.